All right, everybody, it's time for the And a Chaser Spirits and Beer Pairing show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. Jersey Johnny coming at you, and with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Hold on, I got to actually put the show up first. There we go. So, Mr. Beer Samurai and Mr. Beer Whisperer. I got the Samurai and the Whisperer in the beer vein tonight.
You're doing the rumba over there, Tom?
I always wanted to be a pip.
There you go.
So I can do that. I can do the train whistle.
Oh, pip. I
always wanted to be a pip.
Pip. Peas there. Pip.
There's no M in there. I got you.
No, exactly. But it's Wednesday, July the 10th. I'm a month behind here. July the 10th, and it is a mojito time of year. Is that
Mojito.
Is that mojito time of year?
Oh,
we are doing mojitos, despite it being National Pina Colada Day.
Because it was yesterday.
No, it's today.
It is today.
And because none of us really wanted to bring a mixer onto the show.
Yeah, I did not want to make a pina colada on the show tonight.
It could have been for good video when when the blender just blows up all over the place. I always love those videos, but no, but so yeah, we're like Johnny said, we're going summary.
We're going summary. We use the rum. There's rum and pina colada, so we're using rum. So we got that part of it.
Pina colada.
Getting caught in the rain.
Oh, wow. We just lost the one viewer we had.
Anyway, yeah, you go to Rupert Holmes and it's all over, baby.
There you go. Exactly. I always said my favorite line of that song is like, and she so I waited with high hopes. Oh, she walked into place. Yeah, no, I knew her smile an instant into the curve of her face. It was my own level lady. And she said, it's you?
Yeah, you really? Is it really the best I can do?
Not how we sung it. My big thing with that song was like, how are neither of them pissed at one another?
I know. Yeah, exactly. And they just laugh, and then everything's better in the relationship, right? So there you go.
Yeah.
Because they realized they were meant to be together. You see, they're looking at the positives and not the negatives.
Positives, not the negatives, in what happened, right?
Yeah. So
that would never happen today. It really didn't happen then either, but it wouldn't happen today.
So they don't live with a Cuban woman. Okay.
So now,
I'm not going to go there.
Not going to go there. Now, let me ask you a question on the Rupert Holmes thing. All right. Which of his three hits do you like best? Pina Colada song?
Or Pina Coladas? I just Pina Colada.
No, there's him and Answering Machine.
Pina Colada song.
Yeah, Pina Colada song.
I don't think I know the other two.
I don't think the other two were actually hit.
Him, what's she gonna do about him?
I do remember this.
She's gonna have to do without him. The other one is, I'm so sorry, you have just reached my answering machine.
I'm both proud and sad that you know those.
Yeah.
Well, you listen to the series.
I'm proud too and a little bit sad for the same reason.
Exactly. Anyway, I'm thirsty, guys. Are you?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I forgot to finish
Oh, there you go.
Finish the outfit.
Finish the outfit. Now you did. There you go. All right. You just need a cigar and you're good to go.
Yeah, I don't smoke them anymore because the thing is, the mojito is a Cuban drink. It was invented in Cuba.
It was.
They don't
was it
know,
really?
It was. It was invented in Cuba. Now they don't know. It was either invented by one of two ways. It was either supposed to be like medicinal, and the sailors added rum to it.
Right.
Right, because just all you needed was the lime to stave off scurvy, but they added the rum and all the other stuff to make it.
Well, it just kind of makes you feel better as you're getting better.
Right, but then there was something made with sugarcane juice that the slaves that harvested the sugarcane that they would drink all the time, and when you just add rum to it and maybe one other ingredient, you basically get a mojito.
Right.
So they're not sure where it got invented. But they know it was on Cuba. So that's the whole history of the mojito. That's it, like in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. And you want to see me in a nutshell?
Nope.
Nope, I'm in a nutshell.
Who didn't see that coming?
I know. All right. All right, Tom. What's your drink? Go for it.
So here's what I got here. You know me. Guys, I like to go local. So I picked up
Tiakida.
The Yucky Da white rum. So this is made right here in Springfield, Missouri. So I use this because when I was looking up recipes and ideas, most recommend that you use a white rum and not an aged rum. Although I do prefer aged rums, I did wanted to use a white rum for this particular. So, but here's what I did there, guys.
If you used an aged rum, Tom, they called it a dirty mojito.
It's a dirty.
Oh, and I do like it dirty. I really do.
That's why.
So anyway,
that's why he's in Studio D. That's why.
For dirty.
This is a version. This is a version of a cocktail I did for Banter Brewing where I work. It was a specialty last month. Was a cherry lime mojito. So I did a dark cherry lime simple syrup. Then I added the fresh mint, muddled the mint in the glass. So I'm going to add the ice to the glass now.
Very nice, very nice.
And then I obviously want to top it with just a little bit of club soda for just a tad bit of fizz. But quite frankly, after I made this, I don't have room for just a touch of that club soda.
Yes.
And then we're going to put some fresh mint on top of it right from our garden. I just picked it out of the backyard minutes ago. So I'm going to put that fresh mint on there and let you take a look at that cocktail.
There you go.
Very, very, very pretty.
In a classic highball glass, as you can see, a tall highball glass.
Yeah.
There we go. And I'm gonna take a drink now. So what I use for the simple syrup though is I use dark cherries. I used raw sugar and fresh lime.
Very nice.
How we doing? He's gonna drink the whole thing.
He's gonna drink the whole thing in one shot.
I might. I just might. That's delicious, man. I don't care who you are. I'm a genius, man. That's good. So here was the inspiration for this particular cocktail. One of my boss's wives asked me to come up with this cocktail. Says Brian sent me a message. Says to Tom and my wife Kate wants you to come up with a cherry lime mojito. So now the pressure's on, right? I either got to hit a home run or I get fired. So anyway, long story short, she came in, liked the cocktail, so I kept it around. It was just supposed to be a June cocktail, but we're going to run through July because it's been rather popular. So that's why I decided to make it for you guys here. Anyway,
it looks fantastic, and I'm going to have to do that. I'm definitely going to have to do that.
That sounds good.
That sounds fantastic. Samurai.
John, I know yours is pre-made. Do you need to start in on it, or because mine's going to take a while? Because I'm actually going to make it on the show.
You're going to actually make it on the show. All right, hold on. Got to put a little ice.
It's up to you if you want to.
Little ice in this glass. Here we go. Save one because I'm probably going to have two. Pour it. I already did it. Everything is made already. Muddled and made. I got the cocktail shaker muddled and made. So I'm literally just pouring over ice. And I could not. I do not. Our highball glasses. We had a nice set of highball glasses. Remember a couple weeks ago, my one beer glass broke before the show. A couple shows ago.
The martini.
For the martini, yeah. Well, our highball glasses were broke. I mean, like the last highball glass we had is gone like about a year now. You know. So
this is the only one I have left. So this is why I'm using this.
So I'm just using a rocks glass. So I made enough. Made enough for two. So there you go. So what I did, I'll just tell you, I did Malibu coconut rum. Like nice. Made a cojito, right? Malibu coconut rum. Muddled the lime and and muddled some citrus and mint with it, and simple syrup and lime juice, and there you go. There's my cojito, and I'll get to the beer pairing in a moment, but there it is. Cheers.
There it is.
Right there.
Cheers. Well, I'm actually gonna
lunch it.
It's quite tasty.
I'm gonna go.
That looks good, John. That really looks delicious, man.
You enjoying that?
I am.
Very nice.
Well, you got to love a mojito.
And there's soda in it too. Obviously, I put soda in it.
So, I mean, you muddle that mint to get the flavor deep down, but then you add that mint on top for the aromatics, and it just really makes the cocktail.
I went over and got that was my mistake. I actually went over and got mint. My neighbor across the street grows so many herbs, but he grows his own mint, right? So I grabbed a handful of mint. When I came in, I dropped two of the leaves on the floor.
Oh no!
Like and stepped on them too. Like dropped them as I'm walking in.
They're pre-muddled.
Right? They're pre-muddled.
They're muddled, yeah.
So I used the rest, and all I have left is this one right here.
That one little leaf.
One little leaf, and that's not going to give me any aromatic. So I can just hold it to my nose and drink.
There you go.
I got that sweet mint right out of our garden just before we started.
There you go. There you go. You know, on a different podcast, that sentence means something completely different.
I could probably address that as well.
There you go. There you go.
I've led many lives leading up to this point.
There you go. Very true. All right.
Go ahead, Dave.
Here you go. Samurai, what do you got?
Well, I'm actually, every time that I've seen a mojito made, on any travel show, be it Bourdain, Three Sheets, whatever, when they're at the beach and making the mojitos, you don't see them put them in highballs. That's hotel stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going straight beach here. I'm using
pint glass.
A shaker pint.
Very nice shaker pint. I have the same one that I'm going to use for my beer.
I'm not using mine for my beer, and I'm actually going to muddle.
There's a reason I'm using mine for my beer. More on that in a minute.
We'll see. But I'm going to muddle it. And when you muddle, you don't want to tear. All you want to do is bruise.
Bruise. That's it.
And you probably heard me. You probably heard me slapping it, because sometimes if you just slap the. I was waiting for it.
Are we still talking about mint, or have we gone into something else again? Hey, man! It was the '80s. It was California. I was young. I needed the money.
We're back to studio.
I live near the valley. That's all I'm going to say about that.
But if you take the mint and you slap it between your hands, sometimes you can bruise it enough to get it to open up. But I did a little bit of that. It wasn't working too well, so I did do some muddling. I pre-squeezed my lime juice. It's the only thing I did ahead of time.
There you go.
And I really like mine nice and sour, so I've got like 3 limes in there for a 16 ounce. Now, what I've gone and done, because I can't do things normal, is I took some white rum, and yesterday morning I put in some jalapenos.
Oh, wow. Okay, now I'm following you. That's brilliant.
Those of you watching this show that watched the Log Room Guys show last night, you might be familiar with the story.
Yes, because I mentioned that on the show. But so in case any fall out, I got my strainer here. So I'm going to put my rum in here now. Probably about good 2 ounces right there. Yeah, I can make it 3. We'll go 3 ounces. So we've got that. Oh, this. Oh, wow. This really, 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 damn. It's taken on the smell. So good. Now I'm going to add some simple syrup to it. I don't have any fancy simple syrup like Tom does. My simple syrup game is not as strong as his.
Well, you already got the fancy stuff going on, so we just did it a different way.
Yeah, I've got the infusing game. That's my thing. So I'm gonna just add a little bit. I don't want it too sweet. I don't like them too sweet. And I got my crushed ice down here. I've got a big thing of crushed ice. I'm gonna add that in. And then I'm gonna cheat a little bit here because I want a little more flavor as well. What I did is I found some at ShopRite. I found some lime mint seltzer.
Very good.
So I know that's cheating, but I don't care.
Not at all.
No, it's not cheating. No.
I'm putting it in the shaker pint. What do I care?
Yeah, you're not cheating. No, that's clever.
So I'm adding this in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this back. I'm going to take my cocktail spoon.
That loud.
Yeah, that was loud.
That loud. That loud.
And just give it a little stir there. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
drink or garnish.
Garnish. So what I decided to do for my garnish, like you guys have your mint. I saved 1 jalapeno wheel.
Oh, look at you.
So there we go. We got my jalapeno wheel going. Then we will turn this so we can see the name on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I don't like mint in my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Cocktail straw. Well, not a cocktail straw. That's a stir. But
okay, now you're cheating. Now I'm going to call you a candy ass for the straw, but that's okay.
Hey, you drink alcohol through a straw, man, and see how well you hold up.
How well you held up.
I'm not 16, so I'm not going to drink alcohol through a straw.
All right. How is that?
Wow, just one day and the habanero flavor. It's really
That looks delicious, though, Dave. Seriously,
Habanero or jalapeno?
Jalapeno, sorry, jalapenos. Oh no, I got habanero tequila over there for when we do margaritas.
Oh, please, let's not do that.
Well, you don't like margaritas, Tom, or they don't like you?
I just feel it's a little cliche.
Margaritas?
Yeah.
Well, there's so many drinks that we've done on the show that are pretty much.
I mean, margaritas are what Biff with the sweater goes to the fake Mexican restaurant to order.
But we're equal.
I have seen Biff with the sweater on order.
I have.
Yes.
Oh,
I like to keep this show pure where we're drinking straight whiskey most of the time with a beer, but that's just me, I guess.
No, of course. It's me as well.
Well,
it's all of us, actually. But.
Yeah. How often do I make cocktails, John?
Very, very, very infrequently.
And when I do, it's a Manhattan.
And when you do, it's
I do love a Manhattan. I've been I've been embracing the old fashioned, as you all know, too. But
I mixed this past weekend. I was at a wedding on Saturday night, and I started at the cocktail hour. Beautiful cocktail hour and a half. All right.
I live in an hour and a half cocktail hour.
Like that.
And it was outdoors. All right. And it was 98 degrees outdoors during the cocktail hour. So we were all melting, basically. So basically you don't eat the raw or cold seafood.
Yeah, don't eat the sushi, man. Don't eat the sushi.
Don't do that. The cooked seafood was fantastic, and everything else was delicious. And the food at the place is fantastic. It always is. Anyway, point is, the outside bar, they had 2 bars set up outside, but because it was so hot and everything else, they had a limited bar outside. So they had no rye. They had no.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm like, I'll gin and tonics. I'll do gin and tonics. So, and it was nice out. They're going to go down like water.
You suffered.
Probably like 4 or 5 of them right during the cocktail hour, right? So that was fine. Anyway, move inside. I'm like, all right, I don't want to keep drinking gin and tonics because they're just going to keep going down like water. But I've been drinking gin. Let me switch to a Negroni.
Oh, a Negroni. Look at you being all sophisticated. Oh, look at John being sophisticated. A Negroni.
A Negroni, right? So I had probably 2 or 3 Negronis, and I'm like, you know what? I want bourbon. Actually, I want rye. It's later in the night. I've eaten a lot. I don't care that I'm switching from gin to rye. It's fine. I woke up.
Bourbon is a digestive.
Right. This is true. So I walk over and I got. Tell
yourself whatever you got to, Tom.
And then I tell yourself, just however you got to get there.
It is. I don't make the shit up.
Then So I switched to a rye Manhattans, and I had a few rye Manhattans. It was a good night. It was a good night.
Yeah, that's a good night.
Nice. I don't mind a bourbon Manhattan as long as it's a traditional bourbon using rye as a secondary. You can't use a wheated bourbon, but a traditional or a high rye bourbon works great in a Manhattan as well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
100%. Beer.
All right, let's do the beer.
Let's do the beer. Tom,
I know you pained yourself over the pairing on this one.
I do. So, here's the thing here. I wasn't sure what to do here, but then it came to me like an epiphany. Anyway, so it is a beer, but I am taking some liberties. I want to make that clear.
It is Studio D. Go right ahead. Or I told him to go ahead, and he just left. So, he took that a little too seriously.
So here's what I got. So I've got a beer from Banter Brewing. That's called M80. It clocks in at 6.6%.
It was just released, wasn't it?
Just released. It's a classic, just American style lager. I refer to it as a craft malt liquor. So it's basically just a good high-powered American lager. However, although you can drink it as is, it was also designed to be part of a shandy with their house-made cherry lime soda. So I've got the beer and the soda, and I'm going to make a shandy for you.
All right, for me.
So I like this mix at about 60-40. So I'm going to pour the beer in there, then I'm going to add the soda. I've already added a squeeze of lime in there and a cherry for a garnish. Now I'm going to put the soda on top of it here. And I'm going to add a little more beer.
So he's calling me a sissy for using a straw, but he's drinking a shandy.
What can I say? I'm a man of many layers. I'm like an onion. I'm a paradox.
A pair of what?
A pair of docks.
Oh, it's an O. There's an O. I'm sorry. You're getting my vowels mixed up.
Pair of docks.
Oh, now you're making fun of the way I speak.
There you go. A sissy shanty.
So here we go. Well, I'm still not drinking this with a straw, so there you go.
There you go.
Anyway, so yeah. Well, I thought
it.
about doing just the M80, but I wanted to make it. I wanted to make the pairing make sense, so I did the cherry lime soda with the beer to go with the cherry lime mojito, and I got the shandy and sláinte.
Very nice.
There you go.
All right. Samurai?
Well, I figure the mojito is a
Damn, that's delicious, man. I don't care who you are.
Mojito is a beach drink.
That makes sense.
So I wanted to go with a beach beer.
Okay.
And there's so many beers that we see advertised that are for the beach. There's the Corona with the lime stuck in it and all that. But I wanted a beer.
I would have paid money to see you drink that.
No. I wanted
Well, see, that was the thing when we were talking mojitos. The only beer I could think of was a Red Stripe to go with the rum, but I didn't want to drink a Red Stripe.
Right.
Well, I wanted a beach beer, and a Mexican style lager, I think, falls.
Oh,
right
wow. Okay. So where's that from? I can't see it.
That is from Almanac Brewing.
Almanac. Okay. Yeah.
That's out on the in the Bay Area. I forget what is that Sausalito?
Alameda Island.
Alameda
Island.
And
that's a great pairing, Dave. That really is.
And this just came in a beer drop, and I'm saving a couple for Johnny.
How is it?
Oh, it's Almanac.
There you go.
To say. Man,
Folks, that means it's good, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm not surprised that's a great beer, but how does it pair with your cocktail? In what way does
I'm glad you said tail there. Okay.
What it's doing is, I've got this nice spicy cocktail.
Yeah, so that's what I'm curious. Yeah.
So I got this nice spicy cocktail, and I've got this nice crisp, clean beer, and basically what it's doing is it's acting like a what do they call the sorbet between meals? What?
Like a palate cleanser.
Intermezzo. Oh. Yes, it's a palate cleanser. So it's what it's doing is it's cleaning it out.
It's like having a nice Hispanic lager with a spicy meal.
Yeah, just if you were having some tacos, and you had some nice.
That's nice. That's a great pairing, Dave. That really is. That's a great pairing.
There you go.
It's working. I'm liking this. I may but if I threw the jalapeno in that now, it would probably defeat the purpose, wouldn't it?
Probably defeat the purpose. Probably, I would say so.
of this pairing.
I'm just pouring mine here. I'll tell you in a minute because I got to take the. What do I got to do, Dave?
It has to take the obligatory photo.
I got to take the obligatory photo. All right.
That's a lot of syllables for you guys.
Well, he has to ask me for that because every now and then he forgets which word to use and uses the wrong.
Well, it depends on how much I've drank before I say it. All right, so
I forget what word you were using to begin with.
I forget too. Let me drink a little and I'll remember it.
You'll come to.
All right, so for my beer, now I'm drinking a Cojito, right? So it's coconut and lime and mint and others, right? But it's coconut and lime. Coconut and lime. What can I do with coconut?
Put the lime in the coconut.
Coconut, right?
Them both down.
If only there was a beer that had.
Call me in the morning.
Exactly. If only there was a beer.
Harry Nilsson.
That had the Harry Nilsson, yeah. If there was a beer that had the flavors of
ratings fame, Nielsen ratings.
Right.
Ah, Nilsson, not Nielsen.
Anyway,
I digress.
No, we digressed.
We digress.
You trying to stay on point.
I'm trying to stay on point, right? So if only there was a beer that threw the flavors of coconut and lime. There is.
Is there?
Yeah, and it's this one right here, Building Sandcastles by Coastal Brewworks.
Oh my goodness! Look at you with product placement.
Exactly. Now, Building Sandcastles from Coastal Brewworks has Sabro Motueka hops in it, right? It's a nice, soft, easy drinking 5% New England IPA with Sabro Motuek hops. Sabro hops, as you know, throw coconut, and Motuek hops throw lime. So we quite literally put the lime in the coconut with this beer. So that's what I decided.
Let me ask you a question, John. I know a lot of brewers hate using Sabro. What are your thoughts about it?
I love Sabro. I do. You know what? I understand how some people cannot like it. Because if it's overused, it's a bit much. But if it's paired right, if it's used the right way, I think it's fantastic. I like using the hops. So
you see, I agree because one of the owners of the brewery I work for does all the brewing, and that's exactly what he said as well. Yeah.
I love Sabro. And John knows I love Sabro. It's one of my favorite hops. My biggest issue with Sabro is
hold on. That's good. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Is that I think of almost all the hop varieties. I think it deteriorates quicker than most hop varieties in the beer.
It does. It really does. Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong about that.
And that's my only.
And that might be why some brewers don't like using it.
Yeah, because you've got to get that stuff out there and served fresh.
You normally you have. No, I mean, the rule of thumb with a New England IPA or any IPA
use it correctly.
Right. Rule of thumb with a New England IPA or any IPA for that matter is 90 days. If it's brewed well, you can get to 120 days. And, and we're talking the cans here, folks. We're not talking the keg. Draft beer, it's a closed transfer. There's no oxygen. There's no oxidizing or anything like. There's no dissolved oxygen in the beer.
You're good, yeah.
You're good. You can drink a keg New England IPA 150 days later. It's going to be fine. But the cans are the in question, right? So
a little bit of oxygen in there.
Yeah. So, for Sabro, though, back that up about 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to get that drank within 2 months in the can,
right?
So
there you go.
So now I'm interested in how the two are working together here. Are you getting some of the beer, then some of the drink?
I'm doing that right now.
Right.
Right in a second.
Well, you did it backwards, but
I'm going back and forth. It's actually working very nice. I got to be honest with you, it's actually working very nice because of those tropical flavors in, between the coconut and the lime in the beer. It's actually playing really nice with the Mojito.
Because I kind of expected was for you to get some cancellation in those flavors and for it to enhance the mint in your Mojito.
It's enhancing the mint a little bit, but not like you would think. It's not canceling anything out. How's that? It's accentuating. They're accentuating the flavors in each. I'm actually getting more lime and coconut in the beer, and
interesting.
And the Mojitos remaining pretty much like the beer's not doing anything to the flavor of the drink. The drink's enhancing the flavor of the beer.
Gotcha.
Right.
That makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, it does make sense because you get that every now and then where you can have similar flavors and they'll cancel, but sometimes they will also enhance.
Right.
So I was very curious as which way it was going to go.
It's very nice. I like that. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah. That's why I want to go back and forth a couple times to see which worked which way. So
now, Tom, with yours,
yeah.
you've got lime and cherry in both.
I do have the lime and cherry in both, but I only have the mint in one.
Right. You only have the mint in one. So are you getting any sort of cancellation or are you getting the enhancement like John's getting?
No, I don't feel like I'm getting any cancellation because I feel because I have the mint, I have the muddled mint, and then I have the mint garnish for the aromatics. I really feel the mint here, and the beer tends to enhance that.
I was talking about the cherry and the lime, not.
The shandy, the beer with the cherry lime soda, because I'm using the cherry lime soda so lightly. The crisp lager kind of accentuates everything.
There you go. Well, that works. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I just poured another one for myself, and I apparently made more than two. So
it's going to be a good night in the Flatham household.
And I got the sports podcast to do in a half an hour. So there you go.
Oh, it's going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a fun show. Yeah, tune into that.
Let's see where it's not going to be like the first episode of with me on the lager room, guys.
No, that was way more alcohol drank on that show.
Oh my God.
Mainly by
I got to tell you, I had to go to work the next day, and I felt so bad. I had to walk into the office, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, pretending I was fine. And I walked down to my basement lair and just put my head on the table. And, oh my God! I hope nobody checks on me for 30
That
minutes.
was a fun show. Hey,
I was
I was okay.
At
The
that
next
point,
day.
I sent a message to Dave. I said, "What would I say?"
You said
I'm not going to lie.
I'm hurting today.
oh yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
The thing
Oh
is,
my God!
I was pretty okay the next day. I think it's mostly because I got a nap on the show.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
I think I got a little bit of a nap during
You
the
did,
show.
yeah. Tom and I held down the fort while you were napping.
I only had to work a 6-hour shift that day, and I thought I was going to die.
Unbelievable. That was a great show. That's years. Oh my God, that's years ago now. Oh,
I was telling
That's
myself,
over 3
Tom, you're
years
not
ago.
21 anymore. You're not 21. You can't do this shit anymore.
That was over 3 years ago. That show.
it's approaching 4 years ago. Yeah,
It was a fun show, though. The show was brilliant. If you rewatch that show, it was a lot of fun.
that was great.
It was on January 12th, 1921.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, it was 103 years ago.
It was.
Oh, 2021.
It was longer than I thought, man.
We've been at this for a while,
Oh,
haven't we?
God. we are pioneers in podcasting. Let me tell you.
120 over 103 years ago, we started a craft beer podcast.
If you pickle yourself, you can live forever.
Knowing that one day craft beer would be invented.
Well, technically, in 1921, there was craft beer.
Yes, it was.
There
all
was.
the beer
There
was
actually
craft
was.
beer.
All the beer was craft beer.
We were drinking.
It wasn't called that, but yes, it was
on
there.
the first show. We were drinking hams and.
Yes. I had a yeah.
Searching database and brain.
Searching database. Well, no, I'm trying to think because I know a couple of the names of the breweries and I couldn't think of them. There was 126 breweries in Newark.
Yeah, hams is the only one that I could pull out. I can't think of any others.
So I was trying to think of one of the breweries that was in Newark. Well, I mean, I guess Ballantyne was there. So there we go.
Ballantyne was there. Ballantyne.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And actually, just around the corner from my building, there is a plaque up of a brewery that used to exist right there.
Really?
You would think I remember the name of it since I walk past it every day, but of course, gone.
Take a picture and put it on both pages.
All
3 pages.
All 3 of them, yes.
The Lager Room, and the Chaser, and Artists and Spirits Festival. Dave, tell us about Artists and Spirits Festival for people that aren't in the know at the moment.
Well, anybody who likes craft spirits should get excited about this. Everything that we do on this show is leading kind of up to it. Foremost, it's just the foremost. It's the 3 of us having fun drinking together and celebrating spirits and cocktails. But also, what we're doing is we're building up to May 22nd of 2025. Why 2025? Because it's a round number. It's easy for us to remember on our anniversaries. It's a trick there. No, but why May 22nd is because it is actually National Craft Distillers Day. So so that's why we're doing it. But you're going to see now, if you follow the Artists and Spirits Festival page on Facebook, you will see we're going to have some of these little micro events, pop-up events. You know, you might see Johnny go live at a local distillery near him. You know, me go live someplace. A distillery elsewhere. We might be just
Tom go live at a distillery that he might
kind of work for,
yeah.
or at least the partner of.
And
you're going to start to see, because we're going to keep the format of the show, but every now and then we might have some guests on the show from distilleries.
Oh gosh, that sounds so awesome.
And then what we're going to do is this is going to start to build, and we're doing this in partnership with Kat Reyes. She is the CEO, founder, president, grand poobah of the national. What is the national? The Worldwide Beer Festival.
The National Worldwide Beer Festival.
It's a Worldwide Beer Festival held on National Beer Day, as a matter of fact.
The National Worldwide Beer Festival.
Which is April 5th. The Worldwide Beer Festival. April 5th, right? It's April 5th?
April 5th, yes.
April 5th every year. And she's running most of our social media for us because we can't keep up with her.
Nobody, you know what? If I was retired, I couldn't keep up with her.
There's no way. She's running so much of the social media on this, getting people on board. I've been talking to some people, getting some people on board. Johnny's done so. Tom, you got Yakida on board on this one, and Tom, have you talked to him about it yet?
I haven't, but I will.
You need to talk about it. We got to get, because what we want to do is on this day, it's going to be a virtual festival. There'll be some live events. I'm expecting Kat will go live from some distillery or bar out in Oregon or maybe Washington State. Johnny might be down the shore distillery. I might be possibly in Morristown, a distillery, or maybe up in New York State. I don't know yet. We'll pick, and
it's a Thursday next year,
so yeah, I'm taking the Friday off.
There you go.
Maybe the Thursday.
I'm taking the Friday.
Well,
honestly, I think what we should do. We'll talk
I need
about
that Thursday, Friday, damn it.
We have over 10 months to figure this out, but what I'm thinking, spitballing here, all right, is that earlier in the day, and obviously not 9 a.m, but earlier in the day, we do our live shows, right? I go live from a distillery, you go live from a distillery, Tom, you go live from a distillery, Kat goes live from a distillery, and then we culminate it at with a live feed together, live podcast, if you will, with several distilling, craft distilling, whatever walks they're from, whether they're distillery owners, distillers, bartenders, bar owners, craft distilling bar.
We have to be at a distillery. We could be at a bar with
anyway, and bring them all in and out and have like a couple hour show and have that be like the culmination at 7 p.m. at night, because after all day of doing this, plus there's going to be other stuff we're gonna set up live feeds for other people. It's going to be a full day event,
and there's going to be uploaded content.
There's going to be uploaded content throughout the year, and I personally, and I had mentioned this to you guys and to Kat, I personally would like to get everybody that's going to be involved on that day, plus more, of course, but everybody that's going to be involved specifically on that day, involved in it all year with the uploaded content and going live from distilleries and everything else, and having them on having them on this show, having them on a separate Artists and Spirits Festival podcast that we might do, so any of those.
Yeah, those, and we're gonna try to tie the Artists and Spirits Festivals into those national days, the National Tequila Days, the National Rum Days, the National Vodka Bourbon. We announced it on National. We announced it on National Martini Day. I think we did.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Oh no, we announced it on National Bourbon Day.
We announced it on National Bourbon. No, we announced it on National Martini Day. We came up with the idea on National Bourbon Day.
Yes, that's what it was. So we've got all this going, and there's going to be all these little events. Follow the Artists and Spirits Festival page. You'll see these events come up. You'll see them on this page as well for And a Chaser.
Sure.
We may have some one-off shows here, there, and everywhere for a lot of these things.
One of my favorite Beatles songs.
And this goes here.
Making each day of the year.
Oh my God.
Not my favorite. It's in my top 5. Not my favorite.
No. I don't know if it's my top 5.
It's in my top. No, it's in my top 5. But it is.
Really good song.
Blackbird's in my top 5. My number 1. You'll never guess my number 1.
Your number one Beatles song. It's not Bulldog. That would be Gene Lynch's. Hey Bulldog would be Gene Lynch's favorite.
I want to hold your. I mean, hand.
Your
Mm-hmm.
Mine's actually.
No, it's not. It's not that. I was kidding. That was a joke. And I love her. That's my favorite Beatles.
Is it? My favorite.
So you like the older Beatles. You like the poppy Beatles.
I like the 1964 through 1966. Don't get me wrong. I love
when the Beatles.
I love the White Album. I love Abbey Road. I probably, and honestly, my favorite Beatles album is probably Abbey Road. But
yeah, I have to agree with that. My second favorite might be Revolver.
Revolver is my second favorite.
I'd have to go with White Album for me. I love that.
My favorite song comes off the White Album, though. Mm-hmm. While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
There you go.
Okay. I'm more of a Dear Prudence guy, but I feel that.
I love that.
Dear Prudence is a great song too. I mean, hey, look, you can't go wrong saying
as a keyboard player, you have to love Dear Prudence.
Of course.
Well, I'm a bass player, so I love the.
That makes sense, but yeah, Dear Prudence for me as a keyboard player. Oh my God!
It's also Eric Clapton plays on that song.
He does.
It's another reason I love that song.
Well, I like it anyway.
You're not a Clapton fan, huh?
So,
interesting.
Anyway,
Tom is the king. Tom is the king of unpopular opinions, as he said many times on the show.
I am. I'm not afraid to be disliked.
There you go. Sometimes it generates more chatter and talk and lifts up the 100%. Bad press is good, any press, but bad press is good press too.
I certainly have a fan base to troll ratio. Yeah.
There you go.
What is the beautiful thing about that is that there was a reciprocation between While My Guitar Gently Weeps and Cream, the song Badged.
Mm-hmm.
The guest artist is Giorgio Misterioso. Not hard to figure that one out.
Giorgio Misterioso. I wonder who that might have been.
Could possibly be.
Well,
oh wait,
Harrison,
I know.
Harrison wrote this.
He lived in Harrison, New Jersey, right? The guy.
Yeah.
Giorgio Misterioso.
Yes, he lived in Harrison.
Harrison, New Jersey.
Giorgio D. Harrison.
Right, there you go.
D. Harrison.
Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't know he was Italian.
he was that Italian section of Liverpool he's from.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Like Little Italy of Liverpool. That's where he was from.
I didn't know he was Italian, man.
Hey, John, we got some comments out there.
We do. Let me put some of them up here. We got a few. Here we go. We got from Werner. Werner. He says, "Get drunk," and then he has a Cookie Monster emoji. That's a new one.
Nice.
Do
1 million shots.
No, do on me million shots. Actually.
Oh, we do body shots on Werner.
I think he's had enough.
I think he meant one, right? Then he says, I just drank rum, guys. I'm drinking with you. Thanks, Warner. Thank you.
Yes.
He says, can I join the Lager Room Zoom meeting? Absolutely. There you go.
We'll have to get your information. Message us on the Lager Room guys.
Message us on the Lager Room guys, and we'll work something out. There you go. All right. But you know what? One more thing on music before we move back off of that. Just in general, no, it's not on the Beatles. Just off of music. I saw this video. I think I sent it to you, Dave. I might have sent it to you, Tom. I'm not sure if I sent it to either of you, but it was Gene Simmons doing an interview. It was probably a week or two ago, but it's Gene Simmons doing an interview. I watched the video. I forget who was interviewing, but Gene Simmons he says, I can tell you right now, I can prove to you that rock is dead. Prove to you.
Oh, I saw this, yeah.
And the interviewer said, go ahead. So he says, all right. It's from the late 50s when rock was born, right? Alan Freed coining rock and roll and everything else. Mm-hmm. So into the 60s through maybe the mid 90s. What bands? You had the Beatles, you had the Rolling Stones, you had the Eagles, you had into the 70s, you had the Eagles, you had Foreigner and Leonard Skinner and so forth and so on. And then you had like Doobie Brothers and everything else. You can get into U2 and even Duran Duran, 80s, right? Even into the 80s songs, even Duran Duran, like Lasting Power, bands that are still playing, that stand the test of time. These bands, right? Amazing bands and everything else, and even into the 90s a little bit. You can even see the Foo Fighters and stuff like that.
Red
Hot Chili Peppers, right? So, but today, where are they? Other than those bands that I just mentioned that are still playing, what bands from the last 20-something years?
Rock and roll bands.
Where are they? There's none. Zero. There's bands released a couple albums and they're gone.
I've always said this. I read it once, and I agree with this. If you think there's no good music out there right now, you're not looking hard enough. Mm-hmm. There's always good music out there. There are still bands that are still bringing it. Rock and roll still out there.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I disagree with Gene Simmons 100% on this.
I know you guys have heard me say this. There's a lot of great bands out there, and your radio is not playing them.
Bingo.
I'm picking up a lot of great music when I listen to Spotify. Find artists like Alejandro Escovedo. Find Chuck Prophet. There's a lot. Find Broken Gold.
You know what?
Find Red City Radio. There's a lot of great music that your commercial radio will not play.
That's just it. You hit the nail on the head, and that's exactly what I was going to say. It's commercial radio. Okay. Which first of all, really quick, Werner just said, rock is not dead. People just don't want to listen to the same regurgitated shit. I agree with him. And then he said, Gene Simmons can't even play bass. Not sure I agree with you there.
I don't agree with that because
Not sure I agree with you there.
Detroit Rock City is
Gene Simmons knows 3 chords very well.
He does. And I agree with that.
That's what I was saying.
I will never compare Gene Simmons to Geddy Lee or John Entwistle or any of those.
He's not Steve Harris, no.
No, he's none of them.
He doesn't have the range.
Right.
But he can play the thing. He can play the thing within his genre.
Gene Simmons is the Ringo Starr of the bass.
Oh, don't diss
Ringo. No.
I'm not dissing Ringo. He's underrated.
No, that is dissing Ringo. No, that is dissing Ringo. Ringo's better than that.
Ringo's better on the drums than Gene Simmons is on the bass. Okay, there you go. Right.
Okay.
Anyway, but back to what he was saying, though.
The drum solo at the end of Abbey Road.
I know, it's not. I know, that was a joke. But
I know where you're coming from, though, with that.
Tom said, though, it's the commercial music. That's what it is.
The commercial,
it's the shit that these damn record labels are putting out, and there's a million record labels now.
There is great music being put out there, but your radio will not play them. You got to find it on a streaming service.
You do.
Yep,
you have to
do.
find
whichever one you like. Find whichever one you like. But I mean, again, Alejandro Escovedo is an Austin City Limits Hall of Famer. He's been writing great music for a very long time. You got Chuck Prophet. I mean, there were so many great artists out there. Red City Radio, Broken Gold. There's a lot of great bands that you just aren't hearing.
I will tell you this, though. I agree with you 100%. There's so much independent music. There's so much local music. There's so much really, really, really good music out there. And you got to find it. You got to work to find it, but you can find it if you look. And commercial radio stations, it's all shit. But hold on now. Here's the one thing I want to say. If this continues, we're never going to have another Beatles, Rolling Stones, yada, 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 because it takes commercial radio to make them that.
I quasi disagree because
there's no way a band could rise to the level of the Beatles or the Rolling Stones without help from labels and radio.
This is why I disagree.
Never gonna happen.
Because the climate at the time of the Beatles was sterile. It was sterile. It was Mantovani. It was your grandparents' music. The Beatles, the Elvis, and the
I don't know
Beatles,
about that. There was a lot of good shit that came out of the 50s that came after Mantovani and your grandparents.
Yeah. No, I've got to agree with Johnny.
But Elvis and the Beatles, they just shocked everybody. They came.
They did,
and I think that can happen again. I really.
But I think so. So I'm going to use the term rock star in a little bit different way here. But rock stars happen for different generations, right? Jack Johnson was the rock star of his generation, boxing. But boxing doesn't have the same impact that it has today. I don't think music has the same impact it had when the Beatles first became the Beatles.
Actually, for the same reason.
Music as a whole isn't. We're never going to have a Beatles again because music doesn't have that same impact. That next rock star is going to be from another. From another platform. It's not going to be.
They're going to say planet.
I thought he was going to say planet too.
No platform. It's going to be from something else.
I really think you're going to get that.
Rock stars are gone. There's no such thing as a rock star anymore.
I think it's going to happen. It's not in our lifetime.
I hope you're right.
I do. I just don't think we're ever going to see the Beatles, anything like the Beatles. When girls are going to be out there fainting and throwing their panties, it's going to be for something else. It's not going to be for music.
Well, because
speaking of that,
girls are built differently now, Tom. They don't do that anymore.
Speaking of that,
and ain't that a damn shame?
I know.
Ain't that a shame?
Speaking of that,
speaking
of girls throwing their panties.
Trick. Girls are throwing their panties at Cheap Trick, by golly.
Tom Jones is going back out on tour. So.
And Tom Jones will throw back his Depends.
If he could stand up. That's an old man. That's an old man.
I do. There is a connection to the Beatles and Tom Jones. You want to know it?
They're both from the United Kingdom?
Besides that.
Oh, okay.
There's a connection you're not aware of between Tom Jones.
Apparently there is.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. So God rest his soul, neighbor of mine, good friend of mine, you know, when he was my neighbor, Andy White, was technically the sixth Beatle.
I've heard the story before.
He was the drummer. If you listen to the song "Love Me Do," the Beatles' first single, it's It's Andy White playing drums. That's not Ringo Starr. It's Andy White playing drums.
Oh,
If you-
okay.
Any,
So is this between somewhere in between Pete Best and Ringo Starr?
it's no. It's after Ringo Starr when they went into the studio to record the first album, recording "Love Me Do." George Martin, the producer, did not like the way Ringo Starr played drums, so he brought in Andy. Andy White was a session musician over in the UK at the time.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah,
and he brought him in to play drums. So there's two versions. There's an album version that does not have a tambourine on it. That's Ringo Starr playing. The single version that everybody hears has a tambourine on it. It's Ringo Starr playing tambourine. It's Andy White playing drums.
Oh, right? Damn! I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
And Andy White was my neighbor for years.
Now that's
when I lived in New Jersey.
That's awesome. That's a great story.
How does that connect to Tom Jones?
If you listen to the song, it's not unusual. Mm-hmm. It's Andy White playing drums on that song too.
Oh,
it's the same drummer on. It's the same drummer on "Love Me Do" as it is on "It's Not Unusual." Same drummer.
What's new, pussycat?
Whoa.
And
we lost everybody else now. So there you go.
She's saying, "What's new, pussycat?" Everybody's good.
There you go. All right. So what do we got coming up in 2 weeks?
Well, what's the plan, guys? We did Mojitos this week.
I got it's in 2 weeks, and Tom's not going to like this at all.
What is it?
In 2 weeks, it is National Tequila Day.
Oh, God. So you're going to make me do a margarita, aren't you?
No, we're not going to do a margarita. We're just going to do straight tequila.
I can do that. All
straight
right.
Tequila in a shot. Straight tequila in a shot.
So it's straight tequila and a beer pairing, right?
Yep. So we're going to use something else.
And a chaser is not necessarily a beer.
So we're going to use the tequila as the chaser. There you go.
No. We're going to do tequila and a shot as the chaser.
All right.
No. We're going to do tequila and we'll do a beer chaser with it.
Gotcha. All right.
So we got 2 weeks to think about what beer we're going to
pair with tequila.
The tequila that we're going to drink on the show.
As my dad used to say, tequila.
Tequila. Oh, there is the little rhyme: 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor.
Yeah.
4, yeah. All right.
I'll make the glass of tequila.
I'll have to find a good one.
All right. So we'll look for tequila. So tune in 2 weeks from tonight. It will be Tequila Day. It's National Tequila Day.
Tequila Day.
National Tequila Day.
No, it's National Tequila. Shouldn't that be International Tequila Day?
Yeah, considering there's no such
thing.
It
really should.
There's no such thing as American
tequila. Exactly.
So, but it's I guess it's national. It should be National Drink Tequila Day.
It should
National Drink Tequila Day.
But either way, it's National Tequila Day, so that's what we're going to do.
This is another thing that we've appropriated from another culture.
Oh, we're great at that. I mean, there's only one culture.
We've created a culture of appropriating everybody else's culture.
There's only one culture that was better at appropriating other cultures, and that was the Italians appropriating the Greeks. Most everything Italian they stole from the Greeks, so they stole their gods.
It changed them a little bit.
They changed the name. That's all they did.
Changed the name.
Oh, I just read something the other day.
The spice palette is about the same, though. Spice palette is very similar.
It's all Mediterranean. There's a lot of oregano. I just read something the other day. NASA, they're a bunch of cheeky buggers, right? So you got Jupiter, right? Jupiter's the king of the gods. Uh-huh. Every one of the moons of Jupiter are named after the gods' lovers, all of his mistresses. Right, all these like demigod heroes that came out of Jupiter's affairs with all these people. That's what these moons are named after. So NASA's sending a probe to Jupiter to explore the moons. Mm-hmm. They're calling the probe Juno. Juno was Jupiter's wife. So they're sending Jupiter's wife to check in on all of his mistresses. That is that's some beauty, right?
That's some interesting. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. So, all right, tequila in 2 weeks. Any parting shots on Mojitos?
Mine's gone, and I think it's time to. I think tomorrow I'm going to get the jalapenos out of here. This has got the right spice.
Get the jalapenos out of here.
I got to say that, Dave, I think that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, that idea is just genius. You do that so well, man.
It's like what you do with the simple syrups. I like to infuse my liquors.
Yeah, you are good, man. You are really good. That sounded brilliant.
And I like to use other not syrups, but sweeteners or other sweet
adjuncts,
additives. As
we call them
additives, but not additives, but like as if replacing something, right?
You are good at putting ingredients together. You're good at putting ingredients together.
I'm replacing vermouth with Amaro. Or Nocino.
Yeah, I do that.
I'm replacing. I love
that. I love the Amaro replacement. Yeah.
Yep, that's a good one. So this is what makes it fun. We all have our things that we do to screw around a little bit with the cocktail.
Yeah, and everything complements the next thing, right? I mean, I like to think we complement each other in different ways.
Actually, we insult each other a lot.
Well,
that's okay too. Because
terms of endearment.
Oh yes.
Nobody can insult you as good as a good friend.
Oh, absolutely. Like they said, man, a friend, you fall down, a friend will help pick you up. A really good friend's going to laugh at your ass first.
Yeah, but then they'll pick you up. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's the way these things work.
All right. So
actually, one of these days, the three of us will have to get together and do a cocktail. We've used one of my infused spirits, one of Tom's simple syrups. John gets to pick the other ingredients.
I like that idea.
We do that.
I like that idea a lot. Yeah.
We got to get together one of these days, and
that's brilliant. I like that.
I like that too. All right,
bring all our strengths together. And because John's also he's very good at picking out the bitters.
He is, yeah.
So,
all right,
we get to veto.
So John turned me into a.
We'll never get this cocktail made.
John turned me into a bitter junkie by making me find black walnut bitters. And after I found black walnut bitters, now I
went down that bitter rabbit hole.
I did. Now I'm finding all kinds of stuff. Oh man.
Oh, you know what I picked up a couple weeks ago? Toasted almond bitters.
I have toasted
really good.
I love toasted almonds.
I can't wait to figure out what to do with these.
I've used toasted almonds. So I did a version of no, it's not a Manhattan, but I did a version of replacing the sweet vermouth with amaretto using the toasted almond bitters and then the whiskey.
That works.
Very nice.
That works.
Cool.
Alrighty.
All right.
Anyways.
All right. 2 weeks from tonight is tequila night. We digress. 2 weeks from tonight's tequila night. We'll get that going, and it's going to be fun. All right.
Yeah, and we're going to have to put that live up on Artisan Spirits Festival.
It's live on Artisan Spirits Fest tonight.
Oh, perfecto.
There you go. Right.
That's my Italian.
Tonight we were live. Tonight we were live on not just on the YouTube channel, but we're live on And a Chaser. But we're live on
three mojitos.
I did. So anyway, and I got a whole sports podcast to do. So on that note,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, tune in. Anybody watching live right now, tune in. Get on with it. Sports podcast. It's on YouTube and everything. It's on. If you're watching on YouTube, just stay here because it's going to be on the Logger Room channel as well. So, but in any event, on that note,
we have beer left, Tom. Mine's gone. We will
wrap the show for today. We want to thank.
I started with a growler.
I'll just keep going. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to I could speak again. Don't forget to visit our website. All of the And a Chaser info will be on the Logger Room website. That's www.loggerroom.com, LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on Facebook at And a Chaser. And of course, all the shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live at the video podcast on Facebook and YouTube every other Wednesday evening around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the And a Chaser podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week, Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful couple weeks. We will see you on Wednesday, July 24th with some tequila.
Tequila!
A little tequila. And we will talk to you then, folks. And remember, and go over and give, if you're watching on YouTube, go over and Chaser, give us a follow on Facebook, and search for the Artists and Spirits Fest on Facebook as well. Give us a follow there, too.
Yeah, there'll be some great updates on that.
100%. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.